Hi, I'm Mike Steger. Welcome to Your Meaning, Your Purpose. This is a video series I'm putting out there for folks just because, I've been thinking about what life is all about and what more there is to life and what we're really here for is pretty much as long as I can remember. In fact, I made it my career to try and figure that sort of stuff out by doing research, giving talks, workshops, teaching classes, reading everything I can get my hands on, but mostly still thinking a lot about what is it that we are doing here in life. And I'm in a local area near Fort Collins, Colorado, in the USA. I'm not going to tell you where it is, but I'll give you a little bit of a view around what my surroundings look like. Not too shabby. My feet are in the almost ice cold water of one of our local rivers. And the reason I want to really divulge where I'm at is A, it's only about a 25-minute drive from my house and then a 1-minute walk, so it's very accessible. B, there's hardly ever anyone there. And maybe more importantly, I found this place completely by accident after living in Fort Collins for more than 12 years. And the accident happened because of the pandemic. And that's really what I'm thinking about still today is like the COVID pandemic and how I'm here, why I'm here, and so on. So early on in the pandemic, but after school had gotten out for my kids and we were just trying to adjust to a life where we weren't allowed to see or touch or breathe on anybody, my daughter and I were kind of rattling around the house, and we'd already gone through the phase of me asking everyone to go for walks about 3 times a day because I was getting stir crazy. And my latest obsession had been trying to get into the Trader Joe's store in our town, which had always had a line. So I was like, "Hey, daughter, you want to go head out to Trader Joe's?" She's like, "Sure, Dad. I'm exactly that bored." So we went and started driving over to the Trader Joe's. There's a line of like 15 people outside, so I wasn't feeling it. So we were like, well, maybe we'll go downtown and we'll grab a cup of coffee. Got downtown, not feeling it. So we're gonna wander around. She was doing cross country, and they were meeting at a river trail. And so we drove past that just so I could be able to drop her off when the practices resume and things like that. And eventually we just started wandering around, and there's a bridge over a local river. And that got me thinking it might be fun to try and explore just some random roads around the river. And we found this place with incredible cliffs where you can just be on the river, pretty quiet. About the only sounds are the rapids and the white water behind us. So for me, this spot is symbolic of how something special happened because we just wanted to roll the dice. And it also reminds me of being able to explore just a little bit and still find new things with my daughter, even though we can't, we're Americans. And at this point in time, we're not allowed to visit almost any country in the world because of what a completely irresponsible job our federal government has done and our executive branch has done in trying to help us figure out what's going on with COVID. So it's all on us. It's our individual responsibility. And boy, does it feel like that. So this summer, about 2 weeks ago, a huge fire burst out in a wilderness area not so far from where I live, about 40 miles. Last week, another fire, only 15 miles, burst out. So we'd finally gotten used to being outside as our main relief from just the grind of pandemic. We were working outside. We would have our meals outside. We would kind of try to have social distance, coffee hours, happy hours, meet and greets, whatever it is outside. And then all of a sudden, ash is raining from the sky. And there's just smoke and haze and carbon monoxide and soot, and you can't be outside anymore. So even outside was taken away. And of course, just the depressing idea that someone went up into the wilderness during a drought and just lit it all on fire. This wilderness area, this forest that won't recover in my lifetime. So it was a bit of a bummer. Like it was a shock because of something beautiful been destroyed. It was a shock because the most enjoyable coping mechanism of driving around trying to find new and interesting places to bring my laptop or bring my family or bring a picnic or whatever it was had been taken away because being outside was just like aggravating, at least to my lungs. So this morning we woke up with a very clear sky, no smoke going on, and but instead what happened was that they'd repaved the street with an asphalt emulsion slurry, and the fumes were so bad it was like burning tires right out front of my house. So I thought, man, all I want to do is get outside. This is the day for it. I'm super excited by this, and I can't be outside again. The wind's shifted. We're not getting bombed by smoke, even though the fires are still raging. And, just the act of trying to maintain this lifestyle that our cities rely on, where there's got to be roads and got to be kept up pretty well, isn't it? Now that's the new thing keeping me inside. So I just was like brutally set back by something that was so small, and I almost instantly gave up on the idea that I would go even in the backyard, much less come back to a place that I think is really beautiful and inspiring to me. And maybe think about the concept of learned helplessness. That it's so the learned helplessness studies were done quite a number of decades ago by Martin Seligman, who's also, ironically enough, one of the leading figures in positive psychology. And essentially what was happening was they were administering electric shocks to dogs in wire cages. So they would administer the current through the floor, the dog's little bare feet would get shocked, and the dogs couldn't escape. They were prevented from escaping in a sort of a two-part cage, but there's a barrier between the shocked part and the non-shocked part. Eventually they brought the barrier down, but 75% of the dogs had learned not even to try. Like just to say there, take the abuse, take the punishment. Now, it wasn't one big shock that told the dogs, I suspect, hey, your whole lifetime is just going to be shocked and misery. Nor was it the idea that being my road paved meant I couldn't come outside anymore. Moreover, it wasn't even the fact that there was smoke in the air and that we finally had a clear day. I didn't even think about the possibility of coming back out to these places after 2 weeks of being, seeing them shrouded in smoke. What actually happened was I started getting ready to go, and then the clouds started to form. I thought, oh man, I was almost ready to go, and then it started getting cloudy. So how can I possibly have fun? It'll rain on me, something bad will happen. And I realized that creeping in, just my idea of motivating to do something, even that I loved, had been sapped away by just the grind of trying to get through. So I had to really essentially dig deep and try to understand what is meaningful to me. Is it meaningful to me to just hunker down, give up for a while, hope the smoke sometimes will clear, hope that the fumes will go away on the road out front, hope that it'll never rain when I don't want it to rain, hope that everything will kind of turn out okay somehow? Or do I need to find another way of engaging with the things I love, even in the face of times when there are obstacles, and maybe even a string of obstacles, none of which would be too much, but over time we just get beaten down. So the key in this case for me was re-engaging with something that was really meaningful. It was thinking back on the important role that my family has in my life, that exploring the world together has in my life, that enjoying the beauty of nature, maybe even especially when it's all bursting into flame just 15 miles away. That re-engaging with what was valuable to me, but also one of the purposes of my life, which is to explore and try to share what I learn, and always try to learn something new, and always try to be inspired. Like connecting with that, getting what I call a purpose boost in some of my other work. That really was what got me out the door, even though I have not enough time because I spent so much time finding other things to do in the house, answering so many emails I can't even stand it. But I got out the door. I won't be here for as long as I wanted. I won't get as much work done here as I wanted, but I feel recharged. And coronavirus, the ongoing problems and crises that we face, they require a response from us. They require us not to give up on things that are important to us, and to learn how to open ourselves to even things that we don't know are important to us yet. Maybe we haven't really considered our role in destroying the environment. Maybe we haven't really considered our role in maintaining unjust social systems that victimize other people besides us. Or maybe victimize us, but also other people. We can open ourselves to learning and to continue to explore and to continue to pursue our purpose, even though there's a daily list of obstacles and the news doesn't ever seem to get better. And it always seems to be pushed off when this whole nightmare will be over. And I really do believe that trying to find a way to reattach, remind yourself of what your purpose in life is, remind yourself of what truly is important to you, and then actively learn to use purpose to boost yourself through those moments when your motivation dies, you feel helpless, you're just ruling out wonderful things in the world around you because you're just too tired. You're just too tired of trying to gear up again and again and again. So I'm super happy I'm here. It's even gotten sunny like it always does. If I'd stayed home, who knows what would have happened. But here, I get to be in a sunny spot surrounded by natural beauty, my feet freezing off my toes, or my toes freezing off my feet, listening to the sound of a river, staring at beautiful cliffs, remembering when I found this place accidentally with my daughter, and the other times I brought my family here, and just reconnecting with my purpose in life in a very, very small and simple way. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that whatever that was doesn't sting me. And, try to find on your own way some way to counteract the helplessness we're starting to feel by reminding yourself of what's important and re-engaging with the motivation that can be powered and driven by purpose.